Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a horror movie review, and I'll be having a look at the movie Code Red. Now this was actually a surprising film to me because I wasn't expecting quite what I saw. Now this movie actually starts out because as a kind of World War II period piece, and it does have some particularly good production value. So I hadn't really known anything about this movie before I kind of watched it. I thought it was a zombie film, which it is, but when you first start watching it, you think, oh, maybe I've got the wrong film here, and it kind of just seems like it's going to be some kind of World War II film, but from a kind of Nazis perspective. Well, I thought, oh, fair enough, maybe I'll watch that then. And for a good sort of 5-10 minutes, that's what you think you're going to get. And then basically it turns out this is kind of like a backstory to this kind of zombie outbreak that's sort of happened sort of during World War II. Cut forward basically, and we have a kind of sort of US Special Forces guy being sent into sort of a military camp in Bulgaria where they suspect this gas, which ultimately caused the sort of zombies to rise in World War II, has kind of been let loose again in this sort of sort of Bulgarian/American sort of military camp of some description. This kind of guy sent in there sort of undercover, and basically he kind of has this sort of contact this female doctor who has this kind of young daughter and tries to sort of uncover what's happened. Standing in his way, you've got this kind of Bulgarian sort of military commander who's sort of taking money on the side for sort of doing some sort of weapons deals outside of this kind of dodgy sort of pimp guy who has this kind of weird backstory that you don't really need to know, but there you go. Anyway, now ultimately, of course, as you'd expect this being a zombie film, the gas gets out and ultimately all the sort of dead rise up and attack the living. Now the zombies in this movie are kind of are quite interesting because they're more along the lines of the kind of 28 Days Later sort of style zombies. They are actually dead rather than kind of infected people. They kind of have these sort of like pustules and kind of sort of viral infections that are kind of happening to them once they're kind of infected. And they're kind of fast moving and very sort of vicious type zombies. And ultimately it's kind of up to a sort of a small group of survivors. This kind of special forces got the kind of female doctor, her young daughter, and a couple of other people they sort of pick up on the way, try to sort of escape ultimately. Now this is kind of a strange film because this looks like it's a longer film that's been cut. I mean, I think it was like 96 minutes or something along the lines of that. There's a number of reasons why I say this. I mean, for example, this is going to be a bit of a mild spoiler. It ends very abruptly. You don't know what's happened to some of the characters. You've got, for example, the kind of this sort of Bulgarian general who's basically been sort of on the take ultimately. You'd expect him to sort of get some sort of comeuppance, but you just don't see him. He just kind of wanders off. So it suggests to me that maybe there was more to this film. And another thing that kind of made me think that is a character gets bitten, and obviously if you know zombie lore, then you know what that means basically. But at no point in this film do they actually sort of, as far as I could tell, I mean I may have missed it, but at no point do they make that distinction that getting bitten actually transmits the virus. They don't ever sort of say that, or you never kind of really see that sort of really happen within the film. At least, like I said, I may have missed it, but from what I can say. And so it's kind of this sort of character sort of, oh, I need to kill myself now basically. But I thought, well, you don't know that that's how the virus gets transmitted, because all you've seen is this kind of like this gas sort of ultimately kill people, and they're kind of rising from the dead, or they've gotten infected by this actual kind of this gas cloud, not because people have been bitten. So, like I said, again, that kind of leads me to believe that this was originally a longer film that's kind of been cut quite poorly. Now, the one really good deal I'll say about this film, and I've kind of mentioned it before, the production values on this look incredible. And I was surprised how much they've actually got in this movie in regards to sort of locations and kind of vehicles and stuff like that. Lots of like military vehicles and things like that. Fantastic location shooting. And even the World War II sort of prologue looks brilliant. I mean, it looks kind of really sort of high budget in regards to the sort of scenery, the kind of all the extras they've got there, the kind of the sort of pyrotechnics, fantastic production values. Now, there's one thing, however, that they haven't bought the money, and that is good acting. The acting in this film is absolutely atrocious. The main sort of guy, I even forget his name, is so wooden. The actual main sort of American Special Forces guy is so wooden. It's it's unbelievable. And unfortunately, no one really kind of gives any type of performance, with the exception of maybe the female doctor. But everyone else is so bland and so kind of just very cliche and sort of two-dimensional. The young girl, I suppose, is quite good as well. I would say that. But so the mother and daughter, about the only sort of decent actors in this movie. So that was kind of strange, considering how much they kind of spent on the kind of the look of this film. And that's, I mean, it does look very good. I think the zombie effects look pretty decent. As I say, there's lots of things to look at. It reminds me very much of kind of like a Resident Evil feel to it if you've played the sort of the games, that sort of thing. So, you know, I was surprised that where it excels in some areas and really sort of falls flat in others. So basically the kind of editing and the acting. Overall, it was an entertaining film because it looks so good to sort of visually. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's an interesting film to watch, but unfortunately it is let down in the kind of major ways. I'd like to know there is an extended cut of this, but some things it just doesn't make too much sense in. Anyway, have you seen it? Let me know. Leave me a comment. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.